Are you there? Is this thing on? Welcome to my Top Family Resort 2024, coming out in 2025. Now in this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 of the places that I went to, even though I went to more than that, and I'm deeming these my top 5. The categories and the criteria for the breakdown, how to get to number 1. It's going to be the room, comfort, cleanliness, water pressure, sheets, comfort of bed. It's going to be the beach. It's going to be the pools, the food, and it's going to come down to service and staffing. Starting off at number 5 is going to go to Iberostar Daiquiri in Cayo. Yep, that's it. I was there, I believe, in February of 2024, and I actually had a really good time at that resort. I'm starting off, check-in was quick and simple. This resort is like a boutique-sized resort, so I found the resort to my liking. I actually really enjoy that. Let's talk about my room. I liked my room. It was located, I believe, on the 2nd or 3rd floor, and these rooms and these buildings that I was in, they're all color coordinated and they're all named after places in Cuba. My room was comfortable. I had good sheets, comfortable mattress, and then I had good water pressure and I had good hot water. I did on a couple occasions lose water for an intermittent time. I think it was for a few hours, so that was a little bit of a drawback, but it wasn't consistent, so it didn't really affect my stay at all because I know Cuba, I understand Cuba, so that to me doesn't matter. Let's talk about the food. The food at this resort I thought was solid. The buffet, which I ate at most of the time, it was great. The breakfast was good and solid. Lunch options in the resort were great, and I think a few times that stay they had ground beef and I had homemade hamburgers. They had smoothie stations, they had a different variety, morning, noon, and night, which really helped out to break up the monotony if you're there for a long stay. But I actually quite enjoy buffets because, you know, I can always find something good to eat and something nutritious to eat. So I actually quite enjoyed it. When it comes to the pool was small, but then again, so was this resort. They did have a swim-up bar, which I know a lot of people really enjoy, and the pool did look clean. Now, when it comes to the beach, oh my gosh, this beach is a wide beach. And one thing that was unique about this beach, it like had a built-in pier, which was really cool. And if you're into walking, this beach is a walker's paradise. So I thought that was really cool. And I know now that a lot of the kite surfers are hanging out down there. So if you're into kite surfing, that's where a lot of the kite surfers are starting to hang out. Anyway, breaking it all down, that's how this resort got to number 5. Number 4 is going to the Grand Memories in Holguin. Even though I stayed at the Sanctuaries part, we still got to enjoy the entire resort. So for us, we really actually did enjoy that resort. The service there at the check-in was easy. It's a very big resort, so if you're coming there, it's going to be massive. The only downfall about that resort, I think, is going to be the 2-hour transfer, but hence that's why I got to number 4, because not only when you're doing a 2-hour transfer, you're also getting great value for money, because I think that's why that hotel comes in at good value for money, because of the long transfer. Let's talk about the room. Now, my room, the sheets were great. We had a nice room, we had lots of hot water, and we had good water pressure during our stay. So that was great. The pools in the whole facility were clean. There was a lot of pools, so there was a lot going on. In the kids section in the Grand Memories area, I think there's 3 or 4 pools, or maybe more than that. So if you're the type of person that likes swim-up bars, lots of activities, well, this resort has that, and the pools were clean. Let's talk about food. Okay. Well, this place has so many options for dinner, and during our stay, we couldn't stay at them all. For dinner, they had the buffet, and their buffet was consistently solid for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? If you're looking for something, I think that buffet can suit all appetites. It had indoor and outdoor seating. During our stay, I think it was late August, so it was very hot. So obviously, indoor seating was great. They did have a snack bar there, and they did serve, I think, pizza, hot dogs, ham and cheese, chicken sandwich. So that's like their snack bar was great. And I think that was the 24-hour snack bar as well. Obviously, the menu probably changes during the later hours. And then that resort did have a lot of a la cartes. I think we hit the Mediterranean, and then we went to the Japanese, or I think it was called the Asian. Anyway, we had a fantastic time there, and good solid food, but more the entertainment was great, and the people that we were with was fun. So if you're going to that resort, that's a good time. Now let's talk about the beach. The beach was nice. It's not my kind of beach, but we had a great time there. It's a very long beach, and it's a bit rocky onto the one side, and it was rough. So if you're the type of person that likes to wade into shallow water and have a good experience of just chilling out on the beach, I think it's a bit rough and a bit wavier down there. But the one great thing about that resort is it's farther down south. So if you want to go during the winter, well, you're in Holguin, and you're probably going to be a couple of degrees warmer down there versus where I am right now. Anyway, that's how that resort got to number 4. Number 3 is going to Sol, Palmeras, and Varadero. And I kind of fell back in love with Varadero during the blackout. And I was looking for some different options, and that one was like, it's called the top seller. I think it's because the way it's priced and the size of the resort. And let's go quickly over that. Check into that resort was quick and simple. This great staff there. Anything you needed, they're accommodative. Let's talk about my room. My room was a newly renovated pool room. So half the resort had been renovated and the other half hadn't been. Great sheets, great bed, great water pressure. So it ticked all boxes there. Let's talk pools. Now, I believe they did have 2 pools, but everything was like right out in front of the resort. So it was simple. It was like the boutique sized resort. So when you came into the superstructure, you had a lot of mature palm trees, and then you had the main pool, and then you had, I think, a secondary pool. In the main pool, that's where you had the pool bar, and you had a swim up bar, and it was good. It was solid. The kids, I was there, and there's a lot of kids there, and they looked to be having a good time there. And the pools looked clean. The food there, okay. Great buffet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They had a good variety of food, and it was consistent. So the buffet was great. They also had the Tex-Mex, which was a Mexican restaurant, which was awesome. They had an international restaurant, which served a great burger, and I believe it was the 24-hour snack bar. They also did a barbecue for Cuban Day outside, out front, which was great and really well done. And they had a great variety of food. And then they had the Chinese restaurant that you had to take the cart to. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ambiance as much as the food. So I thought the food quality during my stay there was consistent, and I can see why. It's a busy resort. Last but not least, it was the beach. And that's sitting on a beautiful stretch of Varadero Beach. Easy to get into, sprawling, lots going on, and nice watercoloring there. So it ticked all boxes, and that's how it got to number 3. Number 2 goes to Grand Aston and Cayo Paredon. That is a nice resort. Well done. I went there, I think it was only maybe a year or 2 old. It's a busy resort. It's big, but it's built like a horseshoe. So the pools are centrally located, and then in the superstructure, you know, you have your restaurants, your lobby bar. But I actually stayed in the VIP section, still attached to the resort, but it was the adults only section, and it really made it nice and unique. My room, great bed, great sheets, hot water, a lot of water pressure, consistent. Tick number 1. Food and food quality at that resort was good. The buffet was busy. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you were going there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, wow, you had to get there because everyone was waiting in line for that resort. But the food quality there was good. I did go to the Brazilian restaurant, and that was a lot of fun. And I did go, I believe, to the Asian restaurant, and it was a good time as well. And they did have a snack bar, but the snack bar only had some French fries, I believe. But they did have a beach lunch going on, and I think there was always pizzas going on there, and they did a little buffet there, and you could order off a little a la carte menu, which was probably ham and cheese, chicken sandwich. But the menu's always changed, so just because I had it then doesn't mean it's happening now. The pools there were nice, and they were nice and clean, and there was a lot. I think there was like 2 to 3 different pools, and they had a pool bar there, and it was always busy there. So I think for a family resort, because everything was centrally located and there was a lot going on, I think that's why it's such a good, busy resort. And then finally, the beach. Yeah, the beach it's spectacular, especially at low tide. It's phenomenal, and not only out front, but if you go to the left a little bit, where that new resort's being built at low tide there, the water is fascinating. It's phenomenal. So, you know, that's why I think it's so busy, is because of that beach. The only downfall about the resort in the Cayo Paredon, it can be windy. That's about it. But that's how it got to number 2. Number 1, any guesses? Vila Gale in the Grand Paredon. Good, solid resort. Wasn't even really on my radar, and then a deal popped up, so Jenny and I kind of went for it. Let's just quickly talk about the size of this resort. It's this big resort, okay? If you're coming here, you're doing steps. But it's a brand new resort, so when you get a brand new resort, things are sparkling clean. The resort looks beautiful, and it's well staffed here, and they've got a good crew here. Let's talk about the room. Okay, our bed is comfortable, sheets were great, and lots of hot water and water pressure. So that's the room area. Now let's talk about the food. Okay, well, the buffet here is very busy if you're coming here. Wow. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the food quality here has been totally consistent. Eggs the entire time. Lots of good proteins. Fairly good, decent variety of carbohydrates. Not so many vegetables, but that's been consistent through all of my stay here. A couple of bright spots about this resort if you're coming. It's going to be the pizzeria over by the family pool. Awesome. Busy though, very busy. So they had pizza and they had ice cream. It was consistent the entire stay. The snack bar, chicken sandwiches, French fries, ham and cheese, consistent during our stay. The pools, okay, the pools, they did have activities going on during our stay. The pools were very busy, but very clean. There's 3 of them. There's the active pool, a family pool, and then there was the luxury pool at the very back of the resort. So 3 pools, very clean. Now let's talk about the beach itself. The beach is beautiful, but if you go to the right during low tide, that's where it just really becomes special, to the right. It's a lot shallower there, so when the tide's out, you can do some major walking there during low tide, and it's beautiful. Now, the entirety of the resort is really well lit up. It's beautiful at nighttime. They do have a lot of activities going on. They have the piano bar. They have a beautiful lobby area and a coffee station area. And I think because it's so new, I think that's why it's very busy, and it's because it's beautiful and it's really well managed, and they have good staff here. If you're coming here, I think you're going to be very pleasantly happy at this resort, regardless if you take a garden room, the pool room, or a junior suite. They all look nice, they're all clean, and they're all well done. So anyway, that's my top 5 video for the family resorts for 2024 being presented in 2025. That's how I got to number 1. Like I always say, these are just the resorts that I stayed at, that I enjoyed. This is all based on just my experiences with the resorts that I went to in 2024. Anyway, like I always say, I'm never telling you to come to this country. I'm not recommending any of these resorts. I'm not being paid by any of these resorts to make this video. This is just my opinion and my opinion only. Anyway, if you like this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe, and guess what? I'll probably see you in the next video.